Oh boy. We were like in the middle of a zone. Let's see how well the checkpoint system works. It remembered me opening that chest, so that's good. We were kind of in the middle of dealing with this situation, which is these runes. There was a bird down there. Oh. I'm a bad person. Is that? Nah, I've already lit that before. Yeah, we have access to up here. I should find all 3 runes and the answer to how to open them. This dude's a big boy. Solve the... Oh. B and R. There we go. Oh, and there's the last one. And it's already an N. I gotta go back down. Hit. B and R. R. There we go. Got it. B. Shit. Well, shit. Which type of N was it? I may have made a translation error. Was it a capital N or lowercase n? I know they're not actually N's, by the way, just so we're clear. Lowercase. So this one's supposed to be B. My bad. A bit far away. Oh. I'm definitely getting attacked. Alright. Hey, buddy. How you doing? Yeah? Ah, I pressed the wrong button. Yeah. Not going so hot for you, is it? Oh. Oh, we're doing this? Oh, we're doing this. Yep. Yep, shit. There we go. B. Oh no. No, turn it off. Wow. I must have turned it off so aggressively that it turned back on twice. This guy's fucking huge, by the way. He's at least 50% taller than me, I think. So in this case, the giants seem to be... Or not? I don't know. Didn't they already say the giants aren't literally giants in this one? Except they are, but they aren't, but they are, but they aren't. But they are, but they aren't. I like that the light bridges are like the equivalent of like the rainbow bridge in the case of the Bifrost. Bifrost literally meaning rainbow bridge, or at least indicating one. Oh no. Oh no, I do have one indication. My hand icon points that way, so it's probably the way I'm supposed to go. So the area that the enemies were in might be optional? I don't know. So I have that crawl space, and then I have this one, but maybe the act of even getting on this light bridge in the first place was supposed to be kind of hidden, because yeah, I had to go through those boards. But maybe whatever I see down here is going to be a dead end with some loot.
Atreus, follow me.
I'm just trying to tell which direction is the intended direction and which one's the side path. Oh yeah, this is built for me to loop back. So this is whatever's here is going to be optional. Gotcha. There we go. Oh yeah. I was worried. I couldn't tell. Okay, so I need to get a crystal up here. I think I remember already finding a crystal, right? Can I beat it out of here? Oh, there it is. Or can, I don't know. No, these are just torches. Shit. Shit. Where is it? Oh, here we are. There we go. Different games handle saves pretty differently from each other. Where a lot of there's some where the it's an absolute save state, and the exact way that you left off is where it's going to leave off. But this is one of the kind of awkward games where it has its own series, it has its own way of handling saves, and you have no idea where the save is going to be. So when you come back, you're not sure what the state's going to be like. There we go. Oh, right. I always forget.
Yes, sir. This is good to know.
I wonder if these are the lesser details in this game. Because he doesn't even... The ones that are pictures he remarks on, but these ones he's just like, ha! And then that's all you get out of him. But then you get the writing. The Great Mountain. When the mountain was cold, it was Meloda and Ondreus who gave it life. Wandering souls from distant lands who had tasted of the meat of poetry and in search of inspiration found each other, and in each other found great love. To the summit of Midgard's great mountain, a secret bridge was built. Here they would make their hearth and fortress to live free of prophecy, and know only themselves and each other. The mountain became a shelter for the outcast and the artist, for Jotnar and new friends made. And to this beacon, many more souls made pilgrimage. Even now, as we shelter from the storm, let none forget the beckoning spirit of the mountain that was. The mountain that was. Sounds like the mountain used to be pretty amazing. Mom always did love artists. Is it just me, or did that entry refer to the mountain in the past tense but not actually discuss the end of said mountain? A shelter for the artist and the outcast. There's so many bodies here. And we're gonna go crawling through them. I'm definitely expecting a Balrog. Whoa.
This is a lot of bodies.
Yeah, I said that.
Tell me what you see.
Well, they look like men, not giants.
Correct. Thieves seeking treasure. See the traps?
Oh yeah, lucky for us they set them all off.
Be grateful these stay dead.
Right, because we've had people not stay dead in this game. How lucky for us, there's a billion traps here, but they've all been set up by a billion people who aren't us. Although Kratos probably could just tank them all. Die, wall. I feel like there's a lot of similar barriers he could have done that to.
The statue! We made it across!
All that to do a jump that, frankly, Kratos could have just done on foot. The thing about all of the superpower cutscenes of Mega Kratos is that it's hard to reconcile them with all the moments like this. Is he really just putting on his power, like dampening his power level to pretend to not be a god in front of in front of Atreus? Because if he is, he's going to great lengths, because I can die during combat. All to hide what's probably, like, knowing narratives, I would say it's like inevitable that the truth comes out, right? It'd be weird if it didn't. Meanwhile, there's little moments where even Kratos screws up at this, like when he was pushing that giant crate that had a handle, and they're like, and was it Atreus was like, "Isn't that heavy?" And he's like, "Yes," the same way he always says yes. Like, doesn't look heavy. And some people misinterpret that as being like that the crate doesn't look heavy. But what Atreus is saying is that it doesn't look like it's heavy to Kratos. Like, he's clearly just pushing this thing like it's no big deal. But he's like trying to maintain a facsimile that it's heavy. But then he does like the Bifrost thing with the giant moving island platform where he moves the entire platform with his own hands. Like, I'm sure the machine's aiding it on some level, but he rotated the entire island with his bare hands right in front of Atreus. So, like, if he is trying to maintain any kind of facsimile or of being a regular person, even close to one, he's kind of inconsistent in his approach.
Roy, over here.
Yes, sir. I've seen this language before.
Read for me, literate one. The serpent. The serpent cannot be spoken to, but his belligerence towards the Aesir is unmistakable. The destruction of Tyr's temple is infeasible while he remains. However, his presence has caused the Lake of Nine to submerge it completely. Therefore, the larger aim of fettering realm travel is still achieved. The Raven Keeper. The destruction of Tyr's temple is infeasible while he remains. While Tyr remains? Seems like the suggestion seems to be that the serpent specifically submerged the temple by coiling up in the water in order to stop people from traveling between the realms. My issue there is that if the lake, this is me getting in the way with my geology brain thinking, I guess. But like, I took a hydrology class. If the lake has a particular water level that it settles into as equilibrium, if you can raise the water level by putting a large thing in it, like you raise water in a tub. But a tub is a closed system, a bathtub that's plugged. A lake is not a closed system, generally speaking. Like, unless the water level was lower than normal to begin with. Because if the water level is already at its like normal water level and it's flowing out via rivers and whatnot, and having, usually your lake has an intake and an outtake, and you have some kind of equilibrium that's met, and that's kind of the average water level. If something huge were to submerge itself in the lake, it would in the short term raise the water level, but you would expect it to just drain out over time because there's way too much water in that lake. That's why a flood doesn't generally just make something just be like, wow, look at all this extra water, we get to keep it, right? It's like no, like a flood in California does not fix droughts in California, despite the paradox that might feel like, because all the water is just lost very, very shortly thereafter. Like, it works as a video game mechanic, but now that we're talking about it as a thing that was an actual plan to stop realm travel, I'm just thinking about, like, but I don't think the water would work that way. That doesn't seem to make sense to me. Unless they were dumb enough to build Tyr's temple low enough into the lake that it would get flooded by just there being too much water for any other reason besides there being a snake, you would think that you'd build it at the level that would be the maximum water level for the lake. And not just something that would be like, whoops, we built it during a drought, and now the lake, replenished, and now the temple's underwater. Which seems to be what's functionally happened. Like, these are old documents. So it's not the short term. Like, the snake didn't just do this. The snake has done this for the long term, apparently. And that's what makes it way weirder. Oh, people love it when I do this. Oh, it was changing. Shit, I didn't even notice that. It stayed red for long enough that I thought it was staying red. And then turned to green right when I clicked on it. Go figure. Yeah, this place is like moth-eaten and forgotten. So, your or whatever the world serpent's called, has been doing this for a while.
Can you read it?
Sir! Oh, this is Durathror, one of the 4 stags of the World Tree. He's supposed to watch the entrance to Jotunheim while the giants sleep. Think he's still there?
Durathror, a stag of the World Tree who watches the gates of Jotunheim, where the giants come from. This really is the Giants' Mountain. Right, isn't the mountain mentioned the other comment in the other note, this mountain?
I do not know.
And the stags are furries? Whenever I hear that a stag is overlooking some location in a thing, I always imagine that it's just an actual regular-ass stag. Not an anthropomorphized, like, Egyptian god. I can't break that part. I wanted the satisfaction of destroying all of it. Better. You can't break him. Is he he's not people. Oh. I think Thor's lightning procced on it. I didn't know that it could do that on non-enemies. Ooh. That's a cool trick you got there. Anyway, goodbye. What's that? What? No? Oh, I thought I heard enemies. It's just the sound of the decaying body, I guess. It's just that loud. I do really like lighting this stuff up. I like this level. I like being here. Although in reality, being... There's definitely an uncomfortable element to being completely enclosed in a rock in a subterranean location. The element of being trapped. Realizing that the changes of day and night no longer occur to you. If you go deep enough underground, and it's not even that deep, I need to get a crystal here. If you go deep enough underground, temperature ceases to change. Like, people associate caves with being cool, and that is more or less true. But they can also be a source of warmth of sorts. Being in a cave deep enough down here like this, the temperature pretty much settles at a static temperature for good. And that's the temperature of the earth itself. Like, the crust of the earth and its static temperature, no longer affected by the sun and the weather. Ow. Ah. How you doing? How you doing? Oh, nice of you to come by.
Peak is still our goal. We find a way up.
I found the absence of temperature changes interesting when that was introduced to me, when I was going to the Moaning Cavern and a few other places. But what it really what was interesting to me...
Think Mom knew this was the Giants' Mountain?
No, the request has been more complicated than she could have foreseen.
What I found really interesting about some of the especially deep caves was the fact that eventually you hit a point where earthquakes no longer affect you. There must be a crystal up there somewhere I can drop down, right? Because there's nothing around here. Not unless I can break this sconce. If you're deep enough underground, weirdly you won't feel earthquakes, which I find curious. I've never studied. I haven't really studied seismology at all, really, and I'm bad at mineralogy. So I've always been into structural geology, and I did all right in hydrogeology and or hydrology and so on. I never. Ooh, maybe this will be where the crystal is. I'm curious about the logistics of how an earthquake works and why specifically it doesn't affect relatively shallow distances under the earth. I imagine that also depends greatly on how big the earthquake is. Like if it's cataclysmic or not. It also might be something that I knew more about once upon a time, but have had it fade over time. These abysses are a fucking nightmare. Like, it's inherently, when you look around in this kind of setting, you feel like you're at the bottom, and like we're at the great bottom of this place, buried beneath all this. But then you look over a ledge, you're like, we're so high up somehow, paradoxically, because of the inherent sort of subjectivity of height and altitude. Because of course we're inside of a mountain. We're inside of a hollow mountain, so we're somehow able to paradoxically be too high and too low at the same time. Our all perspective of how heights work are out the window because we're not even at the surface.
It's a name, I think. Razlir. It means terror.
Yummy. Who or what would be named Terror? I don't know, Fenrir?
What's that? Weird. There's a candle all tangled up with string and some sort of animal hide. Some kind of lantern?
Could be.
No wick, though.
That is of no use to us. The Bifrost lights our way.
Was the string not handled in a way that it would be useful as being the light?
What do you think lit these torches? The dead don't need light.
Eyes open.
I find it weird that you can't just kick down a chain. If you kick down a chain, you instantly go down the chain. An alternate way up and down. I guess it's because I can't go back. Yeah, I can't jump back to that. I need to find a crystal, because I can probably drop it down there, and then use it at that spot. The Moaning Cavern's a pretty fucked up place in California, actually. It's this yawning abyss on the surface of on the surface. It was a cave. Yawning abyss isn't the right thing, because that yawning abyss would be obvious. No. It's a cave that's a trap.
That was just... Okay.
It was a slope that would gradually get steeper as like a trap, and people would fall into it. They would slip and then fall down like 100-meter drop into the planet. So it's these kinds of horrible abysses. These kinds of things actually exist. In the case of the Moaning Cavern, specifically when it was like rediscovered by settlers and so on, when they went down there, they found this giant pile of Native American bones just calcified in a mound, because it's where they would all land when they would fall in, and then they would just die on impact because they would fall like 100 meters down. But it was a surface level cave that would just drop into like basically this kind of thing. The Moaning Cavern's much more like bulbous shaped. It's not like a crevice like this one is, but it's a terrifying concept. And it's deceptively beautiful. You go in that place and you're not thinking about danger, you're thinking about how beautiful that area is. They have a single like welded together like iron spiral staircase that's all caged in so that you're safe. You can't fall off of it or anything. Do I have to go all the way back with a crystal, or did I just miss the crystal? I'm thinking I missed the crystal, which bummer. Yeah, it looks like the things you break, but it's not. But like It's always wet in the Moaning Cavern. That's the sentence. Enjoy that sentence.
Whoa. What is all this? Where are we?
A mine. And if this claw reaches the summit, our goal is near.
Alright, how do we use it?
Ascend the cave shaft. Like, wet caverns are neat because they're still geologically active. All the water moving around is still moving soil and depositing it. These, what? Oh, they're creepy. Oh, they're gone. They're still depositing rock, making their stalagmites and stalactites, but also much more complicated shapes that you wouldn't associate with that stuff. And specifically, what stands out to me about wet rock of that kind in those dark settings. 4 out of 7. Still can't open them.
Well, that's not going anywhere.
What always stands out to me is that they specifically look like chocolate. The whole cavern looks like some sort of bizarre Willy Wonka contraption.
That's funny.
How so?
One hand wrote, Jotnar only. And another wrote, and also dwarves. Should we add to it?
No.
And also dwarves. Jotnar only and also dwarves. The mountain was a stronghold of the giants in Midgard. After they left, the dwarves mined it dry. So they're riffing on the abandonment of the other culture. No girls allowed.
With the stonework, that's definitely Jotun. You know, I think the giants not only mined a mountain, but actually lived here.
There's a lot of space for them to live in. There's just so much this place.
There's a machine with gears of rope by that.
Trying to gesture me towards what to do. Oop, there's the proc. This one area already features several of the things that I can't do yet. Maybe I'll gain access to one of them here. We got the blue roots. And we've got the giant crystal door thing. Look at how big this area is. Seems like this place went out of commission while it was still being used. There's all these big baskets that are full of rock. Like they were in the middle of hauling something when it all became abandoned and went down. Whoa. Does that cause an explosion that affects enemies? Because that corpse went flying and it wasn't even near it. That's interesting. Nope, I don't think I can quite send them that high. I hate lids! That thing is huge. The size of rock that would have to haul. Would it even have a reliable enough grip on it to not just slip, I wonder? Another one that's too tall to send him up. This again. I'm thinking maybe we get access to this power in this area, because it's shown up a few times. It really feels like it's consistently blocking my access to parts of the dungeon. What you noticing?
See anything?
Mining cart.
That could be useful, yeah?
Were you looking in here or no? Well, he said there's something useful. Something he said he saw something up there. Specifically, he said there's something up there while looking out that gate, but he might have meant up there or up there. All right, what do we got?
I think I see how this works. The claw's on one side, And if we get this unstuck... Oh no! I think the rope's stuck under that rock.
That was careless.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
You almost got grinded down to your bones are going to be ground to dust to use in their bread.
Stop.
Whoa, what's...
Maybe we can find our way up through there.
Oh, here they come.
Getting rid of those things.
Here they come. Here they come. Here they come. Where's my hammer? Axe. Oh, hey, other guy. Awkward spot for you to hang out.
That was good, right?
Done.
Adequate.
That's right, boy. You were always adequate at best. Explosive Draugr. I'm not sure how they do it, but these Draugr store energy in their bodies, then explode on contact. But the explosion doesn't hurt them at all. I wonder if it feels good to them. Anyway, we should attack from a distance when we see that they're fully charged up. I saw that...
Atreus, to me.
I believe I noticed that he did explode, but I don't think I necessarily noticed that he was different from them until that moment. To help tell that he was going to explode. How you doing?
You had a way around the Black Breath all along.
Now don't go thinking I could have gotten you past it, you big sack of meat. I got ways around most everything, especially up here. Time was, my folk had the run of this joint. Improved the design of the Jotnar traps and built workarounds to boot. Why you think they're so devious? Oh, that reminds me. Watch out for traps. Let's get to it.
Upgrade? Talon bow upgrade? Oops.
What you need, kid?
Oh yeah. Always upgrade the bow. Now we need hardened Svartalheim steel.
More you need.
Now where should we go?
I always forget I have access to another ability. I think it's because I always have an L1 R1 and I always have an L1 R2, but L1 circle is a sometimes power. And this one can even have as much defense as the other one.
Which way?
Golden Talisman of Protection.
Good to see you sweating the details.
Health burst. That's a new thing we're getting. Axe kills gives you a health burst. Executioner's cleave or precision throw gives you a health burst. I can only assume that means it heals you. Having axe kills heal me would definitely be a bit of an upgrade. It'd be helpful at least. I think that's instead of this though. The shock, that's all exciting to use. Still.
See you next, where's I see you.
A little bit of life leech tends to be your ally in the middle of a dungeon crawl. Don't mind if I ruin your entire blacksmithing operation, do you? Is that just hanging out back? Oh, nope, you can't go there via this. You can't hide from me, strange passages. Where am I going? We're just kind of sharing a chunk of weird debris between the two of us. Switch to the one that's useful. There we go. Oh, that's not that much experience. That's too bad. That's too bad. Let there be light.